And boom, look at that. Maybe a squirrel? There was something going on here. You can see right here, there was also a grouse wing pattern right there, where there was a grouse right here and he smacked his wings. Right here, that looks like probably squirrel tracks going in there. So maybe a fox? That looks like it's maybe fox tracks, yeah. So I would say a fox caught a squirrel and tore it apart right there. That's all the fur. It's one of the reasons I love wintertime, because you get to see how it tells a story, right? You get to play detective for a little bit. So as you can see, there's lots of rabbit tracks in here. And as you've seen back there, there's a lot of fox activity in the area. And I've seen a lot of foxes this year so far. So I lost a fair bit of rabbits last year due to breakages. The rabbits up here are pretty big and they pull hard, so they snap the wires a lot. But I also lost a few to foxes in that. In New Brunswick, I lost a lot to coyotes. Luckily, there's no coyotes up here, and wolves aren't really a big issue up here for stealing food. They're a little too shy, they normally don't, but foxes are a big issue up here. I have a very simple system here that's going to just basically lift the rabbits up in the tree, because most canines, foxes, coyotes, wolves, they don't look up very often. They're usually nose to the ground, looking around eye level. So if I can get the rabbits up the tree, that should help with my success rate of bringing rabbits home. I did a similar thing back in New Brunswick, and I went in to check it, and there was an owl eating my rabbit, and I got some really cool footage of that. So if you want to go check that video out, you can check the link in the description for that. You see all the tracks coming this way. It's a bit of a junction point. Some go that way, some go that way, and some go back out the way I just came. So right here, this tree right here, I'm going to set it up. I actually brought some cables with me and some screw-in eyelets. I'm going to have a counterweight up in the tree. I'll have the snare sit down there on a little trip, basically, so when the rabbit pulls, it goes around the net. It'll pull them up the tree with the counterweight, will fall down. I know a lot of people are thinking, well, why don't I just bend the pole down and use a pole snare? But the problem with that is the trees here, it gets so cold. I've tried it in the past, and the trees here, it gets so cold that the sap inside tends to harden, or whatever moisture content's in the tree. So I bend it down, the rabbit trips it, and it literally just pulls it up like maybe in a few inches, 6 inches or so. The tree kind of just freezes in a bent over position. This way, I'll avoid that. Damn, I just cut my finger. Ugh, got my finger cut. I have a notch cut in there. I have this cable. It's gonna go in there. That's just gonna hold in right there. And the snare will be attached right here to this corner bracket. And up here, right in that point right there, I'm gonna put one of these guys right there. One of these little eyelets. And this goes through there. All right, and now we just need to make sure the counterweight can't get hung up on anything. And then the counterweight will pulling the rabbit up the tree. It'll also take away the ability for the rabbit to jump forward and end up work hardening the wire and breaking. And it'll lead to a quicker, more humane death. And it keeps them off the ground where the foxes can't get at them. As you can see, it's over my head, and I'm 5'8", 5'9". It's just got to be a heavier log than what the rabbit is. I'm not doing a whole lot right now. I'm only setting a few of these because I had surgery. I'm still recovering. I'm still in recovery mode. But I just had to get out of the house for a little bit, so rabbit snaring is probably one of the most easiest, less strenuous things a man can do when it comes to procuring food. Probably next to fishing. These guys always come around looking for a free meal. Yeah, freeloader. I like to just score the tree and then put the wire in it that's going to be used for the rabbit snare, and that'll just kind of mask the scent. And it also gets a nice curl to this to get it ready for to make the noose for the rabbit. Gets all the kinks out of it, makes it nice and smooth. And the sap inside the tree, like I said, will mask my scent. So now I got a nice round snare, and I can set it to size. Now I'll just set that onto that bracket. Tie off the counterweight. Bring the counterweight up the tree. And hook it in right there. And then I set the snare, set the height of it. Got the counterweight going through the eyelet all the way down to that little mechanism I got hooked into the tree. And I got some birch tips put there and birch tips put there to kind of entice them to go back and forth between. And I got it blocked off along the edges there. So, and over here you have rabbit prints right here, and then right next to it we got fox. I gotta do what I gotta do to keep them away from those little thieves. You can see there's some heavy traffic area right there. So I got one set up right there as well. If you can see it, cable goes up the tree to the counterweight right there. Once again, some birch tips on this side. I didn't put any on this side because I'm getting a little out in the open here. I don't want birds to be picking at it, so I don't want to go out too far out of the canopy. As you can see on this side over here is too, I got it blocked off, as well on this side, just to entice them to go through that opening. I'm getting a little sore now, so I'm probably gonna head back soon. I'm probably gonna set maybe just maybe 2 more. I've been stuck inside healing up, so I just wanted to get out for a little bit. We're not far off the trail. I got side by side right there. We're gonna head down the trail a little more, and I know of another spot just up over the hill where there's a fair bit of activity, and I'll set another 1 or 2 up in there, and hopefully we'll get a rabbit by tomorrow. Actually, now that I think about it, those wing marks I seen back in the snow next to that dead squirrel might have been from an owl. And maybe it wasn't a fox. Maybe it just so happened the fox tracks were there, but maybe it was an owl dove down and grabbed that squirrel and then ate it right next to where it got it. I don't know. I guess we'll never know. Lots of activity here, as you can see. A little bit of rabbit pee all over the place here. Rabbit droppings, fresh. Actually, I don't like how that's so open, so I'm gonna go back this way a little bit. See that structure back there? That's a pen set I left out last year. There's no snare set in it, don't worry. It's just the pen set, but it's only about 4 o'clock, but we're running out of light real quick right now this time of year. But as you can see, another counterweight goes down to the snare down there. And I refurbished the pen set that I had left in here. I used the walls off it, flipped them upside down so they can't get in through any of these gates that I had cut out right here. I only have 2 set up here. I got 1 there and 1 there. And the rest of the sides are blocked off. But then I threw a whole bunch of birch tips in the middle. Basically using it like a pen set, but with the counterweight to hopefully save them from being taken away by foxes. And hopefully the canopy in here is heavy enough where the owls won't get at it. Owls have been my experience with these things in the wintertime, but any bird of prey could do it, I guess. Gotta get out of here. There's a little more light out here, at least in the open. I'll be back tomorrow to check on them. I gotta head home. I only got 4 set in total, 2 down there and 2 here. I'm in quite a bit of discomfort right now from my surgery, so I'm gonna head back home. But it was nice to be able to get out and enjoy the outdoors for a little bit anyways. So I'll see you guys tomorrow and see what we got. Let's go in and see if we got anything last night. I can see over there that there's nothing because the log is still up in the tree. I'll head over to the first spot that I set up, and we've got ourselves a rabbit. Not a very big one, but he's not even fully turned white yet. He's still got a bit of brown to him. I might be able to go ahead now and just reset this snare. Well, we got a rabbit. Huh, nice. Like I said, he's not very big, but I'll get that skinned out and hand it over to the wife, and maybe we'll bottle it up. Do some bottle rabbit with this one. Nice. So I still got only 2 more left to check, so we'll head down there now and take a look at it. But I'm going to reset this trap here because, well, There's still rabbits in the area, obviously. This rabbit's not putting this many tracks in here. If you look back there, you'll actually see another pen set that I left behind from last year. There, just like that, set again. I just gotta fix the snare. Whoop, I almost snared my own fingers. I don't really need to worry too much about the snare closing up like when you preload it. I was thinking about that because it's not gonna make a difference, because as soon as they tug, this thing's just gonna yank it tight anyways. Looks like he enjoyed the meal of birch tips. Still a few left there. At least he got his last meal anyways. She's reset there again. Up the tree. Now, if you look down here, you'll see that while he was eating the birch tips on that side, he left a lot of droppings before he decided to pass through and meet his demise. But rabbits do eat their droppings, so when you see droppings that look like this, when you see droppings like that that are not small and dark, they've only been passed through once. Rabbits will eat their droppings multiple times, so they get darker as they eat them. So that actually there, those droppings will bait in more rabbits to this area. So I'll just, he's got a reset there now. I got that one over there, and we'll go check the second spot there. Back into the second spot again. Do I see anything? No. There is, both logs are still up in the tree. So it's a good indication nothing came in. Or something did come in. I can see there's some pieces of the limbs chewed off right there, and there's tracks inside. Looks like he might have came in through there. I didn't have this secured good enough, I guess. Outsmarted by a rabbit. That's alright, not a big deal. I'll get him next time. But if you guys haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. Hit the bell notification and all that fun stuff there. It helps me out a lot. Share it out if you want. It's up to you guys. But yeah, that stuff does help a lot with the channel. Bring more adventures to more people. I'd like to thank you guys for all your support, and I'll see you on the next one. God bless. Bye.